Alright, so it's a new year and I've got a problem. A yarn problem. And I know I made one of those, not last year, maybe the year before, about my yarn stash, and I've used some of it since. I forgot there was some in there. And stuff happened. So last year, if I told you, I was really going through my stash and doing as much crochet and knitting as I could, and I had a blast. I was enjoying myself really much. But I didn't go through all of it first because there's only so many hours into it, and I wasn't going through my stash as much as I just wanted to knit and crochet, you know, and I did. But now I have a lot again, and I must admit that, like, the last Saturday of January, there is this monthly sale at my thrift store that, you know, they do yarn, and I was broke and a little desperate and going through stuff, and I was like, okay, you're gonna buy some yarn to make some stuff that you can sell. And although I do love the energy behind that, selling my work at the price that they're worth by, you know, the hours that I put into it is unreasonable. In a better world, that's what I would do. In a better world, I would be compensated for the many, many hours of work I put into everything. This is not a better world. This is a capitalist hellscape, and we all have to deal with what we have. So the plan to do stuff to sell is still going because I just want to try. It would be nice to have something I can sell and get money from it. It would be nice because I'm struggling. So instead of, you know, just having a yarn year, this year I'm doing a baking year, so I do have a lot of baking plans, and I'm going through them slowly but surely, and I do not need to make a year of yarning, but baking has a lot of downtime, and crocheting and knitting helps with the stress, so I'm still doing it. So I do have a lot of yarn that I bought last Saturday of January out of stress mostly. and it's getting out of hand, like it doesn't fit anymore. I had to take a suitcase for it. It's that bad. So yeah, I need to go through my stash and not buy anything. That said, one of the first things I'm going to do is buy more yarn. Just because I need some white yarn to make blankets out of, and despite a month of looking for it at the thrift store, I couldn't find the amount that I wanted in that specific yarn, so I do not have the white yarn that I need, so I'm going to buy it for cheap because it's acrylic yarn, so it's cheap, and I will buy it at a store that I know, an actual store where I know there will be the white yarn. So that's the only thing that I'm really allowing myself to buy. I do have some labyrinth blankets that I would like to do, but they're not a priority, so they're not going to happen right now because I already have so much yarn and so much stuff to do. I do not need to buy any more yarn. So yeah. So I already did a bunch of stuff actually this year. So stuff that I'm making to sell. One of them is a beanie with the braids. It's a design I did before, and I did some hand warmers with the same yarn, same design, and a scarf, same yarn, same design, and I definitely run out of yarn. I don't have enough to do anything else. The set is finished. I need a few shawls because I just really like crocheting shawls. It makes me happy. So I made this one. I have not blocked them yet because blocking is the part that I don't like to do, and I would much rather do them in summer because in summer they'll dry faster. So 1 and 2 shawls. They're very simple. They're designed that are already made before, so they were really mindless, which was nice. I made 1 beanie in crochet that I had not done before, so it was nice to try something new. Made me want to try new designs in crochet, so I have like tutorials listed up in my to watch list for baby blanket shawls and beanies, because I think that's going to be the SES to sell in like a stand in a farmer's market style. I think people are less likely to buy the weird stuff that I can sometimes do and just buy a new hat, a pretty new hat. And they're good projects because they don't require a lot of yarn, and most of the yarn that I buy at the thrift store comes with like 3 to 4 balls of 50 grams of yarn, and you don't get a say, and you can't find any more if you run out. So I need small projects to use them up. I even have like singular balls sometimes that just, I don't want to let this one go because it's baby alpaca and a new wool and okay, a little bit of nylon, but it's so nice and I want to do something with it, and it was like $1. I didn't want to let it go, you know, but I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, I need small projects. Shawls, beanies, scarves are things that I can do with a little yarn, so that's what I've been doing for now. I really need to have more plans. For example, that yarn was so beautiful and I didn't want to let it go for $2. I have 2 of them and $2. But it's huge. I don't have a hook that fits that, so I'm going to have to use needles, knitting needles, and I have no idea what I could knit with this. It's huge. I don't even know, but it's beautiful and soft and so nice, but I don't know what to do with it. I need to figure out what to do with this one. And yeah, pretty much most of the yarn that are there, I don't know what to do there. The big white ones, they will be used to make a cape with a Shetland lace pattern. I have not done it yet, but I'm very excited to do it. It's pretty itchy, so I think it's actual wool, which is nice. This is a shawl that I made with leftovers, and at first I wanted to keep it for myself, but I don't wear shawls, so if I can sell it, I will sell it. So all of those are things that to sell. I have a bunch of very small amounts of yarn. This is the same yarn for the beanie. I have too little to do anything with it except add like accent colors. Like if I make a plushie and I need a bit of purple to make like cheeks, lip, whatever, I will need a bit of purple and I will add that. So really the smallest bits, I'm using them as, they'll be there as accent colors. Like all those plushy yarn, they kinda require you to keep them just in case you need it, you know. But yeah, I need ideas to do with them. This I kinda want to use for like Christmas stuff, because I think I will want to have that stand just before Christmas. what people are more likely to buy. So like stockings or beanies with a white border, you know. I don't know. It's a vague idea of doing something Christmassy with it. But I do not have actual ideas because it's so slippery. Like I made slippers, actual slippers with it for my neighbor, and I felt so bad because this is so slippery. You can't tell me that she managed to stay on her feet on that. But I have that. I do not know yet. I had been knitted some thin white yarn for the stars and the snowflakes for my blanket last year. So I've collected a lot of thin white, different types of thin white yarns, and eventually I'm going to have to use them because they will no longer be used in snowflakes because I've done the snowflakes. And like I do need to still add the stars to it, but it won't take all the yarn that I have, so yeah. That's still a project that I have to do, but yeah. Bad example, this box, I just have no idea what to do with all of that. But the other things, I have vague ideas. So it was a bad example to start with this one. I just wanted to show off what I actually finished already. Next we have this taupe, kinda beige taupe, color of 40% acrylic, 25 wool, and 35 chlorofiber. I don't even know what it is. It's not bad. It's knitted with the 4mm, I think. I'm probably gonna do something like a crochet shawl or beanie with it. 3.5mm. Yeah, I can do it for maybe a shawl. It wouldn't look great as a shawl, so I'm still not sure. I don't know, maybe a scarf. I'm not sure. I don't like that color all that much, but it was $3. It's cheap. The one next on my to-do list is this very beautiful gray. I only have three balls of 50 grams, so again, not a lot. And it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And it's really nice. It's a number 4 again. Worsted weight, I think that's what you call it. And it's in anthracite, and I like it. So one of the things that I wanted to do was make a baby blanket, and I do really want to make it, but you're supposed to do it like in pastels and all. Dark gray is not exactly the right call for that, so maybe another shawl. Just really like making shawls. I'm going to try to change up the patterns because I don't want it to be all the same, just in different colors, you know. But I really like shawls. 3 balls is not a lot. Maybe I'll make a beanie with it, a hat, or like a beret. It does help. Each time I add like a pom-pom on them, it helps because it takes a lot of yarn. So if I have leftover yarns, nuts with it, I'll just make a pom-pom to go on top of it. But yeah, it's really nice yarn, and I think it's the next one that I'm going to use. Next I have this, which is black yarn. And fancy ass name, but not helpful at the moment. I don't know, I think it's black, it's just boring, itchy black wool yarn. Oh, they say it doesn't shrink. That's cute. Like I'm gonna believe that. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of information of it. It's a wool blend. I don't even have a number for it. Number for needles. It was $6 and there is a lot of it. I'm sure I can get like another set or a really big shawl out of this one, which would be nice. A black shawl. I made only one black shawl, and even then it has a purple border. So yeah. Dark gray. It's a bit between the first gray I showed and the black, and it's really soft. It's the same not label, same brand as the gray one, so maybe I could even do some two-tone things between the two. That would be cool. So yeah, definitely the next one I'm going to use is going to be the two grays. Some blue that I don't know what to do with. It goes into the suitcase. Now I've got a lot of reds because again I wanted to do some Christmas stuff to sell. So I've got a lot of number 4mm just white acrylic yarn, and that is okay because I also have a lot of black that is going to go with it, and I'm going to make some gingham blankets with white, red and black, and I think it'd be really cool. So that's one of the big projects that I'm going to use a lot of yarn. The blanket with the black, the red and the white, and a blanket with, what the hell is this thing? Somewhere. And another blanket with white, yellow and brown. And I'm excited because the tutorial I found on the gingham blanket that gave me the idea is in shade of yellow. It's not my favorite shade of yellow, but there's so much of it. That would be so cool to make a blanket out of this one. But again, for both those blankets I will need some white yarn that I do not have at the moment because I'm broke. So yeah, those are for the blankets, these two and these two. That's why we're together. These still do not know, but that's pretty much the next project on the list. After whatever the fuck I'm doing with the break. You. So, I do not know if you remember. That is to say, I don't know if I posted the video about making it yet, but I figured out after a couple trial and errors how to make a sweater from scratch without pattern, and it fits well, it fits great. It is just a little too short for my own preferences, so I kind of want to redo it, but I'm not undoing this one, and do it like 10 rows longer there, and I think it'd be okay. It just needs a bit more. So I do have yarn that was pretty much meant for it already, so it's not like I'm stealing it from anyone. And I've got more than enough to make another sweater. So I will make another sweater. It's knitting though, and I just like knitting a lot less than crochet, and not just slightly less, but when it's hours and hours of it, it does add up. So I don't want to be doing knitting all that much at the moment. I just finished the whole set and that was knitting. I don't want to do it again. I want to do some crochet, so that sweater is happening, just not at the moment because I just really want to make some crochet something. When that is satisfied and my brain is purring again, I will be doing the sweater again. And another sweater with this yarn. I don't have a lot of it, so I really hope I manage it. And it's for Gaston Lagaffe cosplay. And this one too I'm keeping for same character cosplay. It does have a sweater that his girlfriend knits for him with a big P on it to get some free parking out of it. So yeah, that's another thing that I want to do. I have no idea if I even have enough yarn to make that happen because this is already left over. So I don't know, but I'm gonna try. This one, the blue one, is going to be a vest, and the P on it is going to be a white, so I will use definitely less yarn than the high color full cropped sweater that I will need for the other part of the cosplay. But if the vest doesn't work out with the amount of yarn I have, I know not to even to bother with the other one because it's not happening. So if I turn out I don't have enough with it, I will figure out something else, but for now that's the plan that goes with it. I got some baby blue and baby pink, and I think they will be great into a baby blanket because they're cute. And more pink, not the same pink, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna be using them for baby blankets. Baby blankets I never did because I do not hang around babies all that much, so I just never needed it. But if it's to sell, making a baby blanket kinda makes sense, so this is definitely something that is going to happen. So I'm keeping all my baby blues and all my baby pinks there to make blankets out of. And then I've got all of the mohair, so I think that's what it's called. But like, it's very fluffy, it's very thin, and I have not yet worked with it. It's all felted together, and I've got some green, some pale green, some pale blue, some purple, and some pink. And I really want to do something that combines, and some gray, that combines all of them because that would be so cool. So I was doing shawls, a lot of shawls then, so that's what I was thinking about doing with them, but maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe then I was really into making umbrellas, so I wanted to do umbrellas. A big ass ombre umbrellas with it. None of those ideas ended up being made yet, so I still really want to do something with it, because that would be cool. But yeah, I really want to do, I only have like a ball of it, so I have no idea how long that's stretched because I never use something that's thin. So yeah, I really want to do something with it. I have no idea what to do with. We'll figure it out. But that's something that is existing in this universe and that I'm going to have to deal with eventually. Man, this is not making me look good. It's a mess. There is so much stuff that I have no idea what to do with. Okay, next bag is a paper bag. Alright, so I'm going to allow myself some grace. This is stuff that come from the blanket, leftover from the blanket, because I did not use all of it. I will use one skin of the white, or maybe this one, to go with the blue. Oh shit, it's not the same size. Yeah, sure, it's almost the same size. One of those balls to go with the blue to make the vest. Well, that's happening. The blue left over from the blanket, I have no idea what to do yet. I've got this beautiful red. Again, it would be so nice into a shawl, but I definitely do not have enough for a shawl. Don't add me a lot of it is fabric that I want to embroider, so it's on the list, but it's haven't done yet. And that is again white yarn that goes into the shameful suitcase. This I bought because I had a ball of yarn just like that, just in different colors, and I made half a beanie with it. And you know, it doesn't cover even my ears, but it's cute and I enjoyed crocheting with it, so I think I'm going to undo it and restart with this one, crochet it together or in stripes so I can make something bigger with it. But it's soft, it's cute and it's fun and I enjoyed crocheting with it. So this one I have an idea for. This is again very, very nice yarn and I want to do something very nice with it. I want to crochet with this because the feel is amazing. I do not have the idea at the moment, but those two feel so nice. I really want to do something with it. So I'm putting them in the current bin. I've got this huge cake of thick fluffy white yarn that again I want to use to make like stockings and stuff. Kinda want to try to use it in tandem with the big green one, but I also have some leftover of this thick-ish, it's not as thick as the other one, red yarn that I could do like stockings with it. So they are definitely happening when I have no idea. I've got another little baggie that I got at thrift store. It only cost me 50 cents, that's why I bought it. It's a color that you like. But I've got nothing against it and I probably could do something with it. I have no idea what. I've got some glow-in-the-dark yarn and I wanted to use it for the Oogie Boogie top and I did not use it, I used something else. So now I have glow-in-the-dark yarn and I wanted to do something cool with it. So I was thinking maybe making an amigurumi, but I hate those. So I'm not exactly excited about that. And then I was thinking that maybe I could make some stars with it and sell them as Christmas ornaments and just say, hey, it's a star Christmas ornament that glows in the dark. And that would make a lot of stars, but I could sell them and just maybe add them as freebies if I sell stuff. I don't know, that's kind of the direction I'm going through. I'm going with for this one at the moment. And that is all the yarn in that bag. There are still stuff that's not yarn. And I'm still not done. It is all the fluffy yarn. I don't know if it has a name. I've got some yellow one. It's a beautiful color. I bought it just because of the color. The green I have left over from the Oogie Boogie top because I didn't think the cakes when they would come would be so big. So I used all that I needed for it. But you know, I got those first and they were so small and I was like, I got flawed because I will not have enough for my top, so I was screwed, you know. So instead of buying one cake, I bought 3, so I've got still 1, 2, maybe 2.5 left over of the green, and I've got enough of it. And then I found at the thrift shop this peach color, and those are all going to become one of my cursed dolls, and it's gonna be a voodoo doll, a huge one because I've got a lot of it. And it's gonna be a voodoo doll. It's like gonna be patchworks of all colors in little patches, as if, you know, it's Frankenstein's together. So this one already has an idea. It's not exactly nice to crochet with it because you can't see the stitches at all. So I just been putting it off because of that, but it's definitely happening. I already have the idea for it and I'm excited about it, so it's happening. I've got some pale green yarn and it only cost me $2, so that's why I bought it. But I have no good reason for it other than that. I don't know what to do with it. It's so thin. Even if I want to do something that is not actual lace, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to just get anywhere. Like, I like chunky yarn because you work for an hour on it and you already have something to show for it, you know. You crochet an hour with this one, you end up with that, at best. I have no idea what to do with this. I will have to, I don't know, search. Every time I go through like those 15 things you can crochet for these, for winter, for spring, whatever, they all suck. I mean, they don't suck, but they're not things that I actually genuinely want to do, or I could sell, or that are just interesting to make. So those ideas do shit for me. Jack shit for me. So I've got this green thin yarn, and if you have any idea what to do with it, just tell me. Cause I sure don't. I've got these yellow and orange yarns that I'm pretty much keeping to make some more stuff for my friend because it's his colors, so I know he enjoy them. Checking if it couldn't be the same color. No, it's not the same color. So I also have this ball that I don't know what to do with. Isn't that nice? That's all there is in this. Thank fuck. I still have a bag to go. So yeah, I've got like plans for half of it, but only half. And those plans are mostly half formed, and that's about it. I've got all that pink yarn and it's beautiful, but it's so thin. I think I should double or triple it because I wanted to use it to make an umbrella, but the pattern doesn't really work with it because it's so thin. It's like a 2mm crochet and the pattern is not meant for that. So I should probably like double or triple it if I wanted this to work, which is okay because I got a lot of it. It's gonna be fine, but yeah. That plan kinda sunk because working with something so thin just was not working for that pattern, and I kinda gave up because it was so hard to get something done with this. Also, that pattern gave me a lot of grief. It was really complicated to understand. I really prefer just plain old YouTube tutorial. They're just better. I can visually more know what's going on because, like, no. Just no. A pattern, also they make like as little words as we can get away with, and it's never easy to understand. Okay, so I've got all these purple yarn. I have no idea why I was keeping it. If I put it there, it was probably because I got an idea for it. I don't know, but I've been really into making sets of, you know, beanie, and is this the same color? Is the fucking same color? Come on. So I've already got the beanie. I've a bunch more of it. I'm going to make scarf and hand warmers with it because I can. I've got the yarn for it. I am pretty sure it's the same yarn, so I've got a lot of it. So I'm going to try to make something. It's not my pattern, this one, so I'm going to rewatch it and see if I can transfer it into something that looks like a scarf, because it was like shells. It's really nice. I had a lot of fun making it, but that means that I don't really know what I'm doing. Work in progress. Definitely happening, but I don't know yet. All that black yarn is going to be made into blankets because it was meant to be used to make a bat shawl and bat wing shawl, and turns out I just don't want to do it. I still want to have it, but just figuring out the lace pattern is giving me a lot of grief and I just don't want to do it. That's why I've been putting it off so much. So yes, it is happening. It is not happening right now. So instead I'm going to use all that black yarn into making something that I like, which is the gingham blanket, which is going to be a lot of mindless crocheting, which is just what I need right now. So I'm actually very excited to do those blankets. That's why I'm using all of my black yarn for it. It's all the same weight too, so that's why I'm putting it together. Worsted yet, it's just weight, it's just easier to find, so I was like, man, I'm thirsty, I'm wondering why, and then I realized I've been talking for 40 minutes. No shit. I've got a lot of those black yarn. It's fine, I'm going to make something cool with it. I actually really enjoyed making blankets last year. My blanket, because I only made one. But I enjoy it so much, I just want to do like 7 more. It's so relaxing and so gratifying to know you made that big, huge thing all on your own, out of yarn, you know? So I'm really looking forward to do those blankets. Maybe I could even sell them. With some luck. That would be nice. Because I could use some money. Baking is not a cheap hobby, especially while gluten-free. I have so much of it, it doesn't even fit in the bag. Okay, I'm done with the black. Some more pink because I have so much of it. But it's a good thing because I'm going to need a lot of it for this umbrella. And more baby pink and more baby blue. It's, again, it's so thin. So I don't think I'm going to make those blankets out of this one because it's too thin. But those are going to become socks. Knee-high socks, no, thigh-high socks, because I can. I'm going to make them blue and pink with like stripes. One with vertical stripes, one with horizontal stripes, because I can. And I finally got the needles for it. I've got 4mm needles with a very short string, so you know I don't have to magic loop everything. And I'm excited to do that, but again, it's knitting, and right now I just do not want to do any more knitting. I want to do some crochet. So they are happening this year. I think I will do all those socks this year, just not right now. And I will also make socks out of this one and maybe stripe it with black because I have so much of it. And that'll be very emo, gothic, whatever. So I've got enough to make 2 thigh-high socks, I think. And that is definitely what they were meant for, what I bought them for. And more of that purple yarn. Why did I make a beanie out of it when I could have made something bigger? And it's screwed, I can't undo it. There's a pom-pom there. I can't salvage yarn from a pom-pom. Alright. And then again, a dark blue that I have no idea what to do with. So those are my goals with what I have at the moment. I do have a lot of knitting and a lot of crochet, but I'm doing the crochet first because I want to. I'm itching to buy that white yarn just because I want to make those blankets, but honestly I have more than enough project to last me without it, so I should probably not, you know. But I want to. I just really want to. And I'm weak. So yeah, I'm going to try to reorganize this a little better. Basically throw in there everything that I don't know what to do with yet. and I have my current little bin that goes downstairs right next to my chair. And yeah, I will keep you updated of whatever I manage to finish. And of that, what I will try to sell and what I will not, what I will keep. For example, the curse doll is definitely something I will keep because that's something that I want to make for myself. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm a little overwhelmed too, but that's just because I'm not reasonable. Okay, I'll see you soon. It's the beginning of April, so it's been officially 3 months of stash busting, and I've been doing really well. So I'm pretty proud. It's a great start of the year, and because I did well, I treated myself to a bit of yarn. This is not just a frivolous purchase, it's going to be needed to make blankets out of this red and this black to make gingham blankets. Looking more like plaid than anything. So that's definitely the next thing on the list, which is good because I kind of want something mindless. But not today, not tomorrow, because I fucked up my arm, not by doing yarn thing, just, you know, fibromyalgia stuff. So I fucked it up, so no movement like that could worsen the injury. for a few days, but then right after that I'm starting the blanket. I just really want something mindless. I've been doing some knitting, some intensive math knitting for a while, and yeah, I kind of want to go back to crocheting, which is interesting because like usually I prefer crochet. Recently I've started needlepoint because I can and because I have a project for it, and while it takes fucking forever, it's so fun. I love it. So I spent maybe 2 weeks doing this, and I'm not even close to halfway or even a third through, but it's fun, so no problem there. I just stopped because I'm running out of yarn, and because, you know, I did so well in the 3 months, I also bought more yarn for the needlepoint because I just didn't have enough at all. So all of that is thrifted. This one is the cheapest yarn at the actual yarn store, so if I need to, I have more easily that is going to be the exact same. But for that, honestly, I can totally nail just using yarn to thrift stuff, so that's fun. The only problem with the thrift store is that they don't really have black, because black is very demanded, so they just don't have it. And yeah, I kinda need it. Man, this is close. If I have a problem, I can probably use that, because I have a lot of that, to replace the black. So yeah, if I get tired of the blankets, next thing is a lot of needlepoint on this. So yeah, but yeah, the first thing I did, I don't know if you remember, is finish that set. I think I started talking about it in the video, the last video, which it was a knitting set. So it has a beanie with a pom-pom, and it has hand warmers, like that. And they're cute, and they're warm, and they're comfy, and they have a little bread. And I got a scarf that has little fringes and like a big braid all the way, and it's very long. And I did all that with only 2 balls of yarn. Best thing I've ever did with so little yarn. So I'm really happy. I just love making sets like that of like beanie, gloves and scarves. I just think they're so fun. They are cable knits though, so they probably could benefit from being blocked, so they will definitely be blocked at least a little in the summer when everything will dry just much faster. As will most of the things that I did. After that I was kind of done with knitting. So I used the purple yarn that I had so much of it, and at first I thought I only had enough for the beanie, so I made the beanie, and then I realized I had more, so I made a pom-pom to go with it, which is good. It's a model of beanie that I never did before, and it's really pretty. It used a special shell stitch that I never used before, and it was so pretty that I decided to use all of the yarn left to make this giant scarf. And yeah, the idea was to be wrapped in it, you know, and I don't know yet how to wear it, but it's pretty, and I definitely want to like sell it, because I think that'd be cool, and I'm really proud of it. And it took me a while because it's a lot of yarn and it's very thick and long, but I'm very proud of it. It's really pretty. And then I made a shawl, I think. Sorry, camera just, you know, stopped randomly. And around that time I also made another dark red shawl, and both of them would definitely benefit from blocking. This one is a lot bigger. I think it looks so beautiful once it's blocked. And after that, I remade the beanie, and it looks ridiculous, and it's probably never going to be something I'll sell. And instead of making pom-pom because I didn't have enough yarn, I just made a little ball and attached it. And it's so ridiculous, and I love it so much. And so I used both colors in, alternating straps for the warmer tones and the colder tones. But yeah, looks ridiculous, way too many colors. It's so comfy though. It's warm and soft and fuzzy. It's really cool. I think I'll keep it just for the fun of it. And it was really fun to make. So that's the most important part, And around that time I also had like a bad day where really I had things to do but didn't want to do them. I just wanted to rest. So instead I made a shawl in one day with yet another piece of 3 or 4 balls of yarn. I do not remember. It's grey. It has shells. It's a very simple pattern. I love it. It's gonna look so beautiful once it's blocked. And it took me a day, like less than a day, probably like 12 hours, which is so cool to know that I can make an entire shawl in 12 hours. I was very happy about that. And then one morning, I woke up with the itch to knit, and I have 2 specific projects in mind, which is done because I already have 3 sweaters that I have to do and I have the yarn for. But I have 3 projects in mind. One of them is a bolero with like a big white sleeves inspired by a bolero that I already had, and I wore it so much that it's completely distorted. It stretched beyond reason. It's no longer something I can wear, which is a shame because I love it so much. I think I actually kept it somewhere. I love it, and I miss it. And it was green, it was beautiful, and I loved it. And I didn't have the green yarn to make it. I had this yarn, but it was just so thin, and it was not the correct shade. At the thrift store when I went last Friday to get some more yarn for the cross stitch, there was the perfect shade of green to make that bolero. And it killed me not to buy it, but there was only like 450 grams. I don't think I would have had enough to make what I wanted. So I let it go. It was so painful. But I still did it. Oh no, I did the beanie first. Well, I'll show the beanie next. And I did the bolero. And it does not have the size of sleeves that I wanted because I don't have yarn. So it's okay. And it took a while. I'm really happy about it. I think it definitely needs a lot of blocking because it's so wonky. But it's the first try, and once I redo it for like maybe the green, or maybe make a pattern for it, who knows, I will definitely adjust some things, but apart from that, it fits. It's pretty warm, it's pretty comfy. It's relatively see-through, which is one of the problems I will fix if I actually make it a pattern, but that's my bolero, and it has like edging that is mostly just very long strips of very fine stockinette stitch. We're talking like 4mm, which I'm not used to do. And that too is 4mm, so the sleeves and the bands, including those that became the ties, are just plain old stockinette stitch in 4mm, which took a while. And then those pieces that I wish I made longer, which is one of the things I will fix. I doubled the yarn and made it in 6.5 millimeter needles, which I thought would make it, you know, denser and less see-through, since I knew there was going to be some tension to it, but that did not work out. So yeah, something that I'm going to have to fix if I ever redo that. But it's warm, it's fun, it's going to be great for summer when, you know, just to layer over something else if I'm cold, which is unlikely in summer, but you never know. And because I wanted to have fun, I made a trans beanie. I had these blue and pink, baby blue, baby pink colors, and I just wanted to make something fun out of them. So I made little mouse ears, and I've got some white detail to like stitch them together, and it's fun. It's uncomplicated. Again, it's probably not something I'm going to sell, but it was fun to make. And he had like little ears. So it's not that complicated, but it's fun. And there's one missing. Oh, okay. The last thing that I did was embroidering, and I finished them today, so they're definitely the last thing I did. They are ornaments for my friends. So fun fact, I just inherited a lot of knits, which is why I don't really need to knit stuff at the moment, because I have like a huge pile of just inherited knits. But those knits are coming from friends who just lost their daughter, and since I'm the only person that they know with the same size, they give me a lot of the clothes. And because, you know, they're my friends and I like them, I made them those little ornaments. So they're made with 2 of her t-shirts. The little snowflakes I got at I found on the ground at her funeral, the moment when she was put into the dirt at the cemetery, and embroidered little motifs with metallic thread. And you know, I just have to love them, because embroidering with metallic thread was a huge pain in the ass, and I don't want to do that ever again. So at first I wanted to have the golden motif on both dark blue sides, but after I was done with the 4, I was like, I'm not doing 4 more. So once I did this, and I made 4 ornaments, so I can have 1 for her mother, 1 for her father, 1 for her sister, and 1 for her brother, so they can all have her for Christmas next to them. And I think they'll like them. I hope so, because I made them with care, and usually that's what matters. Also, the other thing that I dreamt up when I woke up with the urge to knit is a wrap around sweater. So they're not that complicated as a concept. It's just sleeves and then a big wide rectangular panel between. So it's simple in theory, but I kind of want to be very playful about that and just make the most complicated cable, motif, lace piece. I think it's going to be beautiful from what I imagine. I'm going to have to learn so much stuff to do it, but I think I can make one of the most beautiful things I've ever made. It's already that in my head. And to do that, I think I will use that pink yarn that I have a lot of. I sure hope I have enough to make my dream come true, but yeah. I decided against using that for an umbrella because it was just never going to happen. I was dragging my feet over it, but I think this will make a really beautiful detailed lace cable knit wraparound sweater, and I'm really excited to do it, but it's going to be a long-term project. It's going to take a lot of time, of learning, of everything. So it's not the first thing on my list. Once I'm done with the blankets, or if I need a little palette cleanser, I have those two yarns that at first I wanted to use this one to make see-through mittens. You know, the thing that doesn't have fingers, fingerless gloves. And I thought I had enough to make, you know, fingerless glove go all the way there. And in red, I thought it would be really cool. And then I realized that this yarn that I did not know what to do with then, that I have enough, I'd say around 2 balls worth of it in grey, is the exact same yarn, just different color. It has the same feel, the same size. It doesn't look like that, but it's just because the tension is different. It's the same yarn, and it's soft and it's cute, and I think I want to do something combining the two instead. And I decided that it was going to be a little bat plushie. So the main body and the exterior of the wings will be in grey, and the interior of the wings will be in red. And once that plushie is done, we'll see what I do with the rest. Whatever I have rest and what I'm doing with it. So the blankets, the bat plushie, if I have time, the knit wraparound sweater, and those are, and of course a lot of cross stitching. Those are the plans for the next 3 months. I'll see you then, and until then, those can go in the suitcase there to be blocked later. I'm very proud of myself, and I'll see you in 3 months, or whenever it is that I edit those videos.